grab your boards. Welcome all surfers to Wavy's Atlantic Ocean. Surf, 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 baby. You wanna surf on the tidal wavy? Yeah. Twerk, baby. For certain, she moving so perfect. Surf, baby. You wanna surf on the tidal wavy? Twerk, baby. I'm loving the way that you surf it.
All my niggas, they gangbang, and all these niggas do the same thing. Counting money, living insane. Steady mobbing, let my flag hang. Told them I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm throwing a monster like Randy. I know that these niggas can't stand me, but the automatic come in handy.
Yo, you already know who it is. You already know what it is. It's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. Oh my God. In this Wavy's world, salute to the surfers. Before I get into this video, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. Y'all may hear me sniffle a couple of times. I'm gonna try to keep it at a minimum. I'm feeling a little under the weather, you feel me? Yeah. So, y'all see right here, this is Mr. Derek or Derek, whatever his name is. I don't even care about his name, you feel me? Like something really a lame to me. But Mr. Derdrick Williams. Anyway, he wanted to do that had something to do with the unaliving of rapper XXXTentacion back in 2018, right? So this dude is filing an appeal, and it's pretty interesting what his attorney, who's the guy right there next to him, y'all gonna see. We about to get right into it, you feel me? I don't want to make this too long and drawn out, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Smell me?
Prior to Mr. Onfroy, which I'll refer to him as X for this interview because his stage name was XXXTentacion, which was the victim in this case. Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now. It's Champagne Poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but some.
All right, I remember that. I don't know if any of y'all do, but I definitely remember when XXX had posted that. But that don't mean Drake had anything to do with any of that. It don't mean that he don't, but it don't mean that he do. We're gonna get back to it.
Something to that effect, right? So imagine the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's Champagne Poppy, which is Drake's Instagram name. I laid out in extreme detail all of my defense witnesses list, which included many rappers, because at the end of the day, the victim in this case was a rapper. He had feuds, ongoing public feuds with not only Drake, but a lot of rappers that are either signed to OVO or related to Drake in some way, including 600 Breezy, which is a Chicago-based rapper, and a rapper that's from Toronto by the name of, he goes by Top 5, which is Hassan Ali. And I had to
listen. Beef comes with the music industry, as I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know this. Hence, Kendrick and Drake just had a huge ordeal. I'm just saying, this is usual. So, I don't know how valid that would be to use that as a part of a defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. You go put the blame on everybody that person be because they end up getting smoked. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. You feel me? Let's get back.
lay that all out in detail. The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Academics, because DJ Academics was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted a YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face. And he wanted DJ Academics to post it on his own site, and he said, I'm not going to do that. And in that conversation, DJ Academic says that you better be careful because even though, like, and I'm paraphrasing again, even though he's not a gangster, you may be pushing him. As a reaction,
DJ Academics is a clown. Alright. Like, I ain't got no problem with DJ Academic, you feel me? He's a black man that's doing his thing, you feel me? But we all know DJ Academics has a whole lot of bitch assness in him. These are all facts. These are all facts. So it's like, oh, but you don't be pushing them. Like, what you insinuating things? You know what I'm saying? Feel me? You know what I'm talking about? For real though. Like, anyway, back at it.
to that conversation, X goes and says that he takes it out off the post off of his website or off of IG, and he says that his Instagram was hacked. I laid that out in my motion to perpetuate the testimony, which a motion to perpetuate testimony is when you have a witness that is.
Dudes always say that they Instagram or whatever was hacked when they done said some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's like the top excuse for dudes. We just gonna keep it real. That's like the top excuse. Oh, it was hacked, because who can really argue that? You know what I'm saying? It's like an easy cop out.
Relevant to your defense and that lives beyond the jurisdictional limits of the court, and that you feel that you're not going to be able to bring them into court. So I'm basically asking the court to allow me to go to California or wherever I have to go, depose this individual, and now with his deposition, if he doesn't show up, I could use it in my defense or in my case in chief, right? So I did that, argued it to the court, and the court, in a reaction, basically said, I'm not going to grant your motion to perpetuate testimony, just take his depo. Let's just take it. So, okay, fine. I set a notice of hearing, went and served Drake in his castle in Beverly Hills.
There's something that you mentioned, and I want to talk about this. So first of all, there was this deposition that was taken of XXXTentacion's mother, Cleopatra Bernard. She testified that Onfroy had this ongoing feud with Mr. Graham, Aubrey Graham, Drake. She said this feud with Graham included throwing shots at Onfroy and lyrics from one of Graham's songs. You mentioned that controversial statement that he made, if anyone tries to kill me, it was Champagne Poppy. The question I want to start with as we get into the Drake conversation, were you arguing, or his appellate attorneys arguing that Drake was a part of this killing, that he was the one who did this, or are you arguing that it should have just been allowed, you should have been allowed to present evidence to suggest there were other potential leads that law enforcement really didn't look at into this case?
See, now that would be understandable. That's a good question this dude asked, because it's one thing to be over here trying to push the narrative that Drake Ray has something to do with this, right? But it's another thing to just say the fact that it's a trial, you're going to trial, that even if it's not true, you still supposed to be able to use pulling all your resources, contact any witnesses, any avenue that needs to be explored. You're supposed to do all that. You're supposed to maximize the defense. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to maximize the defense. So that was a good question, because depending on the answer from this attorney will depend on whether he on some straight bull or not. You feel me?
So again, what are exactly we suggesting? Are you suggesting that Drake had a part in it, or that just it wasn't looked into and it shows a sloppy investigation and not a fair trial?
Well, in the brief and in what I was arguing in court is the latter. We are a defendant has every right to defend himself and to show reasonable doubt wherever it may be, and to fully investigate and articulate to a jury an alternate shooter defense or an alternate, a defense where someone else, committed this crime.
All right, so he basically saying, he just wanted to be able to explore all the avenues. because he's right. A person that fighting the case should be able to fight the case to the max. Any reasonable doubt, anything that create that, yes, that is fair use. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, because I've been incarcerated, you know what I mean, multiple times, you feel me? And I for sure will have an issue, even if I'm the one that did do it or had something to do with it. I would have an issue with the fact that I couldn't argue my case to the max, because any reasonable doubt created, uh, that's enough to make the difference in a juror saying guilty or not guilty, for sure.
Am I going to sit here and tell you that Drake was holding a gun or Drake? But the facts, as they are stated by X's own mother, is that she knew about the beef with Drake and with Migos. She knew about the violence between Migos and her son, where there was a violent episode. She knew about 600 Breezy, which is a known admitted gang member from Chicago, going.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that situation with the Migos too. Before I watched this clip earlier, they had reminded me. I forgot all about that. I don't know if y'all know about that situation, but there's definitely video I'm sure y'all can find. They actually got into like a whole fight and everything. I remember that. You know, so I definitely remember that.
To South Florida and posting on social media saying that he's blicked up, which means that I have a gun, and she was concerned about it. She testified in the depot that she discussed it with her son. She testified that the reason that she wanted additional security with him the day he died was because of this beef with Migos and everything that we're discussing. So it was relevant, and for many months during the trial, January, February, even February 7th of 2023, the judge is agreeing with me. Okay, now there comes a moment and a hearing. He goes ahead and Drake hires, after the judge enters a rule to show cause, basically saying a purge date. You have to appear for depo on this day, or I'm going to do a writ of bodily attachment. He then goes and hires Brad Cohen, a friend of the show, friend of mine as well, an excellent attorney. And Brad files several motions, motion to quash the subpoena, and he files a motion for protective order. We go back and forth, and the judge says, and the first time that Brad shows up to court, he says, you know what, I'm gonna quash the rule to show cause. He's hired counsel. You guys can communicate and figure out when this step was gonna happen. Okay, so we go back and forth. We can't agree to it for various reasons, and I'm not going to get into settlement negotiations
Sure.
on the show, but we can't agree. We go into court February 24th, I believe, on his motions. At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness, and I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service, where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion.
Yo, that's savage. I ain't know nothing about that happening. Yo, man's kicking the subpoena down yo mansion sidewalk, basically down the driveway from your mansion. That's savage. You know what I'm saying? That's savage.
And the judge didn't allow me to show that. Despite not allowing me to put forth that evidence, the judge did a 180 from telling me to figure it out, coordinate it, take the depo, did a 180, told me, why are you involving him?
Yeah, I paused it at the judge looking crazy right now. I try to pause it while he was still looking up. Cause like, is it me? Like, I keep thinking this, so I had to pause and say this. Like, do this damn judge remind you of like a bird, like some type of bird? I don't know what bird it may be, but he kind of giving me bird vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Granted the motion for for protective order, granted the motion to quash my subpoena, allowed, Mr. Cohen to argue California law without having a California expert there, and basically kind of chastised me about, why are you bringing them into it? And as a matter of fact, we had taken the deposition of one of X's relatives regarding this beef, and she denied it, and the court said in open court, even his relative said that it didn't exist. And I said, yeah, well, she's lying, because the whole world knows about this beef. So for her to sit here and
Now I ain't gonna lie, whoever this relative to XXX is, they some straight bullshit, because we all definitely know about that beef. You feel what I'm saying? See, me, I'll call everything the way I see it, and I ain't with all the sugarcoating. You feel me? And whoever this relative, even though like I'm not with the Drake having anything to do with this for real, you know what I'm saying? But come on now. I don't know, his relative probably some type of groupie. You know what I'm saying? Probably was fanned out. You know what I mean? Should be crazy. Let's go.
say that she didn't know about it it's on her credibility. So despite all of this, he does a 180. He not only grants the motion for protective order, basically saying that I can now serve him again.
Okay.
And it quashes the subpoena, but the state attorney, sensing there's blood in the water, says, Judge, I'm going to renew my motion to strike all his witnesses. Okay? Or tennis, no notice. And he says, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to strike Mr. Graham. So he struck in the middle of the trial. He struck Drake from my witness list, which is completely inappropriate, considering the history of the case.
I'm gonna agree with that too. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? Like, whatever some BS, I'm gonna call it on either side. Now, right there, Drake should have still had to appear before court, because everything he went through, subpoenaing him, like the judge should never been cool with it to begin with, just to turn around and strike it. That's hella weird. That judge, aka the new member of the Angry Birds, he probably a groupie too. Word up, he probably a groupie too on the babies. He probably a groupie.
Talk to me real quick about why you think the judge did this, because in the appellate brief, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is an accusation that the court might have been biased because of Drake's celebrity status. Correct me if that allegation is wrong, and in your opinion, why do you believe the court ultimately wouldn't allow the deposition of Drake?
I'll say that Judge Usong was a complete gentleman to me, and it was a pleasure to try the case in front of him. I do think that he made various reversible errors, and I think from the beginning he made a lot of calls that were unconstitutional, not legal. This being one of them. I don't want to speculate as to why, but when you're dealing with someone like Drake, which he's not a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. He's like in the stratosphere of fame. So when a judge does a 180 like that, I'll let the viewers or other people figure out why they think that it happened, but I'm not gonna speculate as to why it happened. But
No, I get that. I get that. I do want to ask you about this, because this is another part of the appeal. And that is with respect to the testimony of this gang expert, which was excluded in a pretrial hearing. And the defense, my understanding, wanted to call Jesse De La Cruz, who they had claimed, discovered visual evidence that Drake could have had ties to the same organization as a co-defendant in this case, Robert Allen. And I believe the brief states, Dr. Cruz's research revealed photos of Mr. Graham throwing the same gang signs as Allen. And Allen is that accomplice who I mentioned before, who testified against his co-defendants. But Cruz also revealed.
They trying to say my boy Drake a gang member now. That's crazy. You feel me? I don't know this to be true or false, because it ain't like I know this nigga Drake. You feel me? I don't know this nigga. But yo, that's wild. And if it was true, that's extra wild. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And it would come down to like, what would be the odds of you beefing with XXX, then one of the dudes who actually turned out to be a rat. You know what he said? He said he testified against I hate you rap niggas, yo. Can't stand y'all, bro. Like, it's mad at y'all niggas, man. Like, yo, go away. All this don't hold each other hand, right? And dive off the nearest cliff and pull each other all into the abyss. That's what I'm saying, you feel me? You better off in the abyss. But let's get back into it.
That people who knew Drake were allegedly seen in XXXTentacion's neighborhood threatening him before he died. The brief read, social media posts showed these same known Graham associates were seen in Onfroy's neighborhood threatening him just prior to the murder. And then they say even more revealing is this connection that Cruz made to Drake's song lyrics, because shortly after XXX was killed, the brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled Triple X with suspicious lyrics. SMS Triple X, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags, the implication there being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately,
The lyrics. If there was any other time, I wouldn't even be too pressed about the lyrics. But the way these dudes have been using lyrics in people's cases, kind of causes me to have a different stance. So the fact that what he said do seem suspicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how Dirk going through what he going through, you know what I'm saying? How they try to use the stuff against, Thug and the YSL case, you know what I mean? Like, so they definitely using lyrics against dudes, you know what I'm saying? But of course, the lyrics have to go in conjunction with an indictment and everything. You can't just strictly use that. You gotta already kind of have them indicted and starting the trial process and then bring lyrics up. So I don't know how this will work. You feel me? Let's go.
Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings. Mauricio, I have that right, and can you emphasize that a little bit more? Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes. Okay. So Dr. De La Cruz did proffer to the court everything that you've stated regarding the song lyrics, the fact that Drake was throwing gang signs that were the same gang signs that Allen was throwing up in different social media posts. The court strikes Dr. De La Cruz, which is a known gang expert and well known in his field, has testified over 150 times in trials. They allowed the state to put their own gang expert, Detective Polo, which really bolstered a lot of what Dr. De La Cruz said regarding the necessity to bring out this testimony. I don't believe that it, based on Daubert, which is the case that we look at when analyzing whether an expert if it's appropriate for an expert to testify. I don't believe that was a legal call. I think it was error for him to do that and not allow us to put forth that testimony. And we put up pictures of Drake with Lil Wayne throwing up a Bloods gang sign.
Hey, yo, don't bring my son Wayne into this. You feel me? Don't bring my son Wayne into this. Like, yeah, he's throwing the signs up with Wayne. First of all, we all know Wayne is the homie. You feel me? Second of all, Drake owes all of this rap stardom to Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So him throwing up the sign with him doesn't mean he's necessarily affiliated. Come on now. That don't mean he's affiliated. You feel me? It's probably more of a homage type of deal because the blood, power, you know what I'm saying? All that's Wayne been yelling that forever. You feel me? So it's no secret. You know what I'm saying? He got it tatted on him. Come on now. So let's see what he about to get at with that.
And other evidence that Drake is out there flaunting gang ties. We put forth evidence of Hassan Ali, which is top 5 out there openly claiming on social media and video that he's Drake's shooter. And part of the theory of defense.
Now that dude top 5 do be bugging. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if any of y'all familiar with top 5, but check him out. Son be wild, and he's like the drill rapper of Canada. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, son be wilding. I don't know how much work he really had put in, but through the grapevine, they say, he do what he do. But hey, it's all alleged. Like I say, I don't know none of these dudes. You feel me? So I don't know what's true, what ain't. But I do know who top five
is to show, listen, even though these people are entertainers, okay, there's a a gang related portion of it. There's a gang related side to it. And X's own mother testified that she knew about this, that she knew about when 600 Breezy traveled from wherever he was, whether it's Chicago to South Florida. She knew about it. She talked to him about it. So this case had more than ample evidence and ample reason to involve a gang expert.
All right, so that's the end of that clip. I don't know. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think Drake has something to do with this? Do y'all think that they're just reaching? Do you think any of the other people he named, like 600 Breezy, Top 5, the Migos, like everybody that they grasping at straws for this appeal, do y'all think any of them had anything to do with it? Or do y'all believe that the people that were convicted were the only participants of this unaliving? So if y'all don't mind, hit up that comment section. And while y'all at it, hit that like. And while y'all at that, subscribe, why don't you? You feel me? I'm just saying, baby. Holla at the boy. Smell me. You feel me? But I'm out of here, man. You know who it is and you know what it is. It's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. OMG. You know it's me. And of course, this Wavy's world. When you lock in, you become part of the surfer nation. Because I always salute the surfers. Without y'all, what the hell am I doing? You feel me? Y'all be safe out there though. And stay sucker free.